You already studied this keyword, super keyword, static keyword, three keywords. This keyword, what is this keyword? Upgrade FX. Super keyword, upgrade FX. Static keyword, it is what? Modifier. So, final is a modifier. Static is a modifier, final is a modifier. But static, it modifies the variable, method, class, block. But here only three. Variable, method, class. That's great. By using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable, comma, method overriding, and inheritance. By using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable, method overriding, and inheritance. By using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable, method overriding, and inheritance. Clear? 1 minute. Online student, now is it clear? Okay. Now here, final keyword, it is called as modifier because it modifies the behavior of a variable, method, and class. By using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable, method overriding, and inheritance. Say integer a equal to 5. If I write in next line, if I write a plus equal to 2. Now, what is the value of a? 7. In first line, a value 5. In second line, a value 7. But once if you write a final, this value we cannot change. That is here, we can prevent value of the variable. Now, final int a equal to 5 if you write, then a value 5 is final. We cannot change. If you try to change, error comes. So, by using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable. So, here value of the variable is 5. Here value cannot be changed. If you try to change, error comes. That is a final concept. Okay. Now, here error because final values cannot be changed. Note down. It is called as modifier because it modifies the behavior of a variable, of a method, of a class. Behavior of a variable, behavior of a method, behavior of a class. Error because final values cannot be changed. We cannot change the value of A. We cannot change the value of A. Is it over? Note on. Final keyword can be applied to instance variable, comma, class variable, and local variable. Final keyword can be applied to instance variable, comma, class variable, and local variable. Final keyword can be applied to instance variable, comma, class variable, and local variable. So you can apply to instance variable, you can apply to class variable, you can apply to local variable. 3 variables you can apply. Now, there are 3 types of variables you studied. How to select, you already studied. When we have to use instance variable in Java programming. When we have to use instance variable in Java programming. Different values are there, okay, for objects. When we have to use class variable, same value for all objects. When we have to use local variable to perform the task, okay. If the value is different for every object, use instance variable. If the value is same for all objects, use class variable. To perform the task, use local variable. Like that, you studied. If I give some variables, you can select no. Roll number, instance variable, name, address, mobile number, mail ID, age, date of birth, college name, university name, C language marks, C++ marks, Java marks, total marks, local variable. Okay, like that you can select. Now it can be instance variable or class variable or local variable, whatever it may be. In future, value is going to be changed, then non-final. Not going to be changed, final. Now, this list of variables I given, you selected. Some are instance variable, some are class variable, some are local variable, like that you selected. Now, how to select final is, in future, if the value is going to be changed, then non-final. If the value is not going to be changed, final. Now, student roll number, final or non-final? Student roll number, final. Once they assign number, that is only continued. Okay, final. Name of the student, final. Address of the student. Your address you can change anytime. Okay, non-final. Mobile number, non-final. Mail ID, non-final. Age. Your age is fixed. Age is going to be changed or not? Changed. Age is non-final. Date of birth? Date of birth final. Age is non-final. Your age is not fixed, no? So age is going to be changed. So non-final. Date of birth is final. Got it? Aadhaar card number. Like that. So in future also it is not going to be changed. In that situation, select final. And you are allowing to change, then non-final. Your address, anytime you can change. Mobile number, anytime you can change. Mail ID, anytime you can change. In that situation, non-final. Okay? And age, it is going to be changed. Date of birth, fixed. In that situation, final. Aadhaar card number, fixed. Voter ID, fixed. At the time, final. Okay. In future also, it is not going to be changed. In that situation, you have to write final. Okay. That is the purpose of final. That can be instance variable, that can be class variable, that can be local variable, whatever it may be. It is not going to be changed. Make add final. It is going to be changed. Don't write final. Okay. And one more thing, final variable must be initialized. Final variable must be initialized. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. Final variable must be initialized. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. Final variable must be initialized. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. Is it over? Say. File, open, demo.java. Here, integer x equal integer x. This is which variable? How many ways to access? What are those? Can I write like this? What will be the output? What will be the output? 0. File, save. Compilation, execution, 0. Here, final integer x, it is error. You must initialize. Suppose static. Now, it is class variable. Can I write like this? What is the output? 0. But if you write final, error. If you write final, you must initialize. Otherwise, error. See, variable x not initialized in the default constructor. Now, local variable, you already studied. It is, will you get a 0? Will you get a 0? No, already given. Local variable must be initialized before access. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. Local variable compulsory out initialize. But now instance variable, class variable, no need to initialize. If it is final, compulsory. Now, it is, what is output? 0. If I write now, error. If it is final variable, it must initialize. Why final variable compulsory out initialize is, suppose if you write like this, by default 0 comes suppose. Then future you cannot change. Then always 0 only. That is the reason we ought write. Okay. Write this one. Error. Because final variable must be initialized. If it is non-final, 0 initialized. If it is final, we must initialize. We have to initialize. Even if you want 0 also, you have to write the code. Error, because final variable must be initialized. This is not initialized, that's what error. Is it over? Now, this is error. This variable not initialized. That's what error. Suppose I'll write like this. Think yourself and give me answer. Is it valid or not valid? Think yourself. Will it compile or not compile? Think yourself and you answer. Will it compile or not compiles? Error? Not compiles? Not compiles. Compiles. Any other? How many people answer compiles? Just raise your hand. Online students. How many people answer not compiles? Just raise your hand. Those who given answer not compiles, why it will not compile? Those who given answer not compiles, why it will not compile? So those who given not compiles, that means those who given error. Why error? Final variable must be initialized. That's what not compiles. Those who given answer compiles, how it is compiled? This constructor is nothing but initialization. You studied, no? It appears like a declaration assignment, but it is called as an initialization. Notes also are given. On constructor programs, you observe in the given this is also called initialization. I said. So it is compiled. It is valid. Here, when this memory allocated, whenever object is created, when this constructor is called, this total code at a time executed, it appears like a 2 lines. It is just 1 line only because total code at a time executed. Whenever object is created, then only constructor is called, then only memory allocated. So at the time only 10 stored. It is called as initialization. It appears like a assignment. It is not assignment. It is initialization. Because while allocating memory only, this is executed. That is the reason it is valid. So it will compile successfully. You will get the output 10. Okay. Write this one. It is called as an initialization. It is called as an initialization. So it appears like a assignment. It is not assignment. Because memory allocated to instance variable consider is executed both at a time. That is the reason it is called initialization. Is it over? See, when this line is executed, whenever object is created. When this consider is executed, whenever object is created. Both at a time executed. That's what it is called initialization. Now, this is which type of variable? How many ways to access? What are those? Here, how it is valid? This dot, implicitly this dot. Object reference dot x. This keyword doesn't appear to you, but it is there. With that only valid. It is not called directly. It is object reference dot x. But where is object reference? This keyword. But where is this? Implicitly. That is. Okay. It is implicitly this dot x. Suppose little bit I'll change. Now is it compiled? Now is it compiled or not compiled? Think yourself and give me answer. One line I removed. Okay, one line I removed. One line I removed. Compiles? Compiles or not compiles? How many people answer compiles? No, first compiles. Reason leave it. How many people answer compiles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Online students. How many answer not compiles? Those who given not compiles, why it will not compile? So it is not initialized. Now, what is this? Block. Block is also called as initialization block. You already studied, no? A block is also called as an initialization block. When block is executed, whenever object is created. When this line is executed, whenever object is created. This total code at a time executed. So it is called initialization. It will compile successfully. So it is valid. See, file, save. It is also compiled. No error. Okay. Confusion will be there. But I given concepts already. A block is also called as an initialization block. That point I given. Because it can also be used to initialize instance variable. After considerers I taught. You can check it. After considerers, second point in a blocks. After considerers, while teaching blocks, second point I given. A block is also called as an initialization block because it can also be used to initialize instance variable. But blocks are not important because not in use. That's the reason I didn't ask again and again. Not in use. So it is also called as an initialization. That's what it will compile. It is also called as an initialization. Every point important only. Every point important only. Up to exception handling, every point important. Is it over? It is also called as an initialization. Now, little bit change. Now, compiles or not compiles? Now, think yourself. Give me answer. Will it compile or not compile? Not compiles? Compiles? Not compiles. Okay. Will it compile or not compile? Think. This is only object-oriented programming logics, Java logics. These are Java logics. C language logic different, Java logics different. How many people answer compiles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many people answer not compiles? Why it will not compile? Here, is it initialization? No, it is assignment. Because when this line executed, whenever object is created, this is after creating object. If you call the method, then call. So it is not initialization. It is called assignment. But this assignment also not possible. We cannot change the value. Two errors like one error is not initialized. One error is cannot be modified. Two errors, but it shows one error. File, save. It shows one error, you observe. What is showing? Cannot assign a value to final variable X. Now it is showing you cannot assign. I'll remove this. Then not initialized error comes. Say variable X not initialized. So actually two errors are there. One error is you cannot change the value. One more error is not initialized. So here two errors. This is not initialized error. This is you cannot change the value error. But it is showing one error. If you remove this one more error also showing. Because when this line executed, whenever object is created, when this method is called, whenever that method explicitly if you call, then only assigned. So here two errors. Errors. Final variables must be initialized. Second error. Second error, final value cannot be changed. Here, not initialized one error. Here, value cannot be changed one error. Two errors. It is called as an assignment. It is called as an assignment. See, before object-oriented programming, whatever you studied, that is C language type logic. When I started class and object that day onwards, object-oriented programming logic, Java logics. These are Java logics. Errors. Because final variable must be initialized, final value cannot be changed. Two errors. It is called as an assignment. You cannot assign the value to final variable because you cannot change. It is fixed. If you try to change, error. Oh, is it over? Now, before going to next concept, okay, just two more concepts are there. I'll explain first. Is it clear? Next, final keyword, we can apply to variable, we can apply to method, we can apply to class. Apply to variables only. Now we can apply to method also, class also. See, I given already notes here. By using final keyword, we can prevent value of the variable. That is over. Method overriding, inheritance. What is method overriding? Same name, same parameter list. Can we override methods in the same class? No, we cannot override. Can I override in inheritance? Yes. See, if I write, okay, now just code snippet I'll give. If you write like this. Now, here what is the method name? Show. Here also, no arguments, no argument. It is called overriding. Okay. But once if you write a final, we cannot override. Actually, it is called overriding. It is method overriding. But error. Because final methods cannot be overridden. If you don't want to allow to modify, in that case, finally you're right. Suppose this method written by one programmer, this is one more programmer will inherit. He'll try to modify. Not possible. If you want to prevent, you can prevent. You don't want to give a permission to other people to modify. Then in that case, final. So some Java libraries, maximum methods final will be there. You cannot change. If you change, that existed concept will not work. That is the reason they'll prevent. If they give a chance, every programmer different type they'll write. Then actual program will not work. In that situation, we'll do like this. If you don't want to give a permission to modify the definition, then you make it final. Then no one can change your method. You can prevent your method. Okay. Whatever you written here, that code only. You don't want to allow. Now, actually overriding nothing but it is modified. Okay. You are not allowing to modify. Then use final. Write this one. Method overriding. Error. Because final methods cannot be overridden. See, before variable final if you write, then value cannot be changed. Before method final if you write, that method cannot be overridden. Okay. If you prefix final keyword, then value cannot be changed. If you prefix for method cannot be overridden. It is overriding nothing but whatever definition is there, the definition you are redefining. That is called modifying only. You are not allowing to modify. In that case, final. In that case, we have to write final. Say, starting, one example I given for inheritance. Roll number, name, address, landline number, mobile number, this concept I given. Suppose class, student, year, integer, roll number, string, name. These are given, no? String, address, integer, landline number. This are given. Another class. What are given? Student 2. Extends student. Here what are given? Mobile number. String, mail ID. Strings you didn't study till. This are given. Now, here actually, in this class, how many variables are there? 4 variables. In this class, how many variables? 2. These 4 are also inherited here. If you write like this, then how many present now? 6. Now, what I'll do, here one method I'll write. Something display. I'll write. Here, system.out.println, roll number. System.out.println, name. System.out.println, address. System.out.println, landline number. Like this I'll write. Okay. Like this I'll write in this class. Now, student 2 class, what I'll do, same method I'll override, display. Then here, that roll number, can I access here? Yes. Next, system.out.println, name. System.out.println, mobile number. Now I'm not printing address, landline number. I'm printing mobile number, mail ID. Like this I'll write. Suppose, now what I'll do, just you observe, what I'll do, I'll create this class object. I'll call display method. It is called roll number, name, address, landline number printed. I'll create this class object. I'll call display method. This method called. Then roll number, name, mobile number, mail ID. But operator point of view is calling display only. But appears like a modifier. No? Like here roll number, name, address, landline number printed. Here roll number, name, mobile number, mail ID printed. Operator point of view, convenient way. Whatever is following previous project, that type only will follow. But output different. Output different. So that is the reason we'll write same method here. This is called overriding. Suppose you don't want to allow to modify. Then just a final keyword attach. Then like this error. Now in this case modification required. That's what you have to allow. Sometimes you should not allow. In that situation, final. Suppose Java library methods are there. This class is in Java library. Assume this class is available in Java library. What you will do? You will write one class. You will inherit Java library. Already some code written by Java developer. Now what you will do? You will override. You will modify. Then library modify. No. Will they allow library to modify? They'll make it final. They don't want to give a permission to modify to programmer. In that situation, what they'll do? They'll make it final. Then no one can change. If they give permission to change, total library will change. That's what they won't allow. Like that in your project also. Sometimes you don't want to allow. In that situation, make it final. Okay. It is error because final methods cannot be overridden. Okay. This is called overriding. This is called method overriding. It is called method overriding. It is overriding because method name same, parameter list same, but it is final. We cannot override. Okay, I have written this one. It's over now. No, this is method overriding error. If you write a final, final keyword not only for methods, class also you can apply. Okay, if you apply to class, inheritance we can prevent. Inheritance also we can prevent. See, suppose for example, here if you write a final class, it's an error. You cannot inherit. Inheritance is not possible. Write this one. Error. Because final class cannot be inherited. Error because final class cannot be inherited. Final value cannot be changed. Final method cannot be overridden. Final class cannot be inherited. Is it completed? Now I'll ask questions, give me answer. Final keyword. What is final keyword? It is called as modifier. Why we are calling modifier? It modifies the behavior. Which behavior? Variable behavior, method behavior, class behavior. By using final keyword, what we can prevent? Value of the variable. Next, method overriding. Next, inheritance. Once if you apply variable, once if you apply final to variable, final keyword to variable, then the value cannot be changed. If you apply to method, method cannot be overridden. If you apply to class, cannot be inherited. Okay, these points remember. Can I apply final keyword to instance variable, class variable, local variable? All you can apply. Okay. One more point, final variable must be initialized. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. These all points remember. Okay. Now you are learning only concepts. After completion of exception handling application, at the time final record or static record or overloading record or overriding record, you have to select while developing application. Okay. Now, you studied variables. How many types of variables? What are those? Block variable is also called as local variable. Method parameter is also called as local variable. You studied. What is the life of block variable? Block. The scope is limited to block only. What is the life of method parameter? Method. Scope is limited to method only. Life different, scope different. Life means whether it is there or not. Scope means whether it is accessible or not accessible. Now, Local variable life is method. Scope is limited to method. Life of instance variable. Life of instance variable. Object. Scope of instance variable based on access modifiers. Life of class variable. Class. Scope of class variable based on access modifiers. That is you are going to learn now. Next heading, access modifiers. Next heading, access modifiers. Access modifiers. Access modifiers are also called as access specifiers because they specify access permissions. To variables, methods, classes, interfaces, etc. Access modifiers are also called as access specifiers because they specify access permissions to variables, methods, classes, interfaces, etc. So access modifiers, we can call it as specifiers also. But according to Java specification, modifier only ought to call general word. We can call specifiers. Why we are calling like that is, it will specify the permission. Access modifiers, we can also call it as access specifiers. Why we are calling like that is, it will specify the permission. Variable, method, class, interface, etc. Enumerations, records, sealed class, so many concepts are there. Those all we can apply. Now, next, write it. There are 4 types of access modifiers. Public, private, protected. There are 4 types of access modifiers. First one, public. Second one, private. Third one, protected. Fourth one, I'll give. Wait. See. Just wait. I'll explain. There are 4 types of access modifiers. Okay. There are 4 access modifiers. Now, public, private, protected. Fourth one I didn't give. Now, in C++, if I compare this one with C++, you'll get a more clarity. Actually, for learning Java, C++ knowledge is not required. Not required. No need to worry. Just only for this concept, I'll compare with C++. Then you'll get a more clarity. Okay. Suppose in C++, 3 access modifiers are there. Java, 4 access modifiers are there. Suppose C++ class, Java class, I'll write here, observe. Class, suppose A. Okay. Class demo. Like in C language, C++ class, small letters also will write. Integer A, private colon, that is C++ syntax. Okay. Int here. Integer B, protected colon, integer C, public colon, integer D. Like this, I'll write. This one in Java, we'll write another way. Class demo, Here integer A, private integer A, B, protected integer C, public integer D. This is Java class. C++ class at the end semicolon also required. That is C+ syntax. It is C++ class, it is Java class. Now, this is private variable. This is private variable. This is protected variable. This is public variable. Okay. But here I didn't mention any access modifier, but it is also private variable. That means without writing access modifier, also by default private in C++. C++ by default private. If we don't write any access modifier, that is nothing but by default private in a class. But again, C++ structure concept is there, union concept is there. In a structure, union public. In a class, private. Java structures, unions removed, not there. Okay. Now, this A and B both are private, both are same. Without writing access modifier also, that will be considered as a private in C++. Now, the scope of A and B same, C different, D different. That means how many access modifiers in C++? How many? 3. What are those? Private, protected, public. Which is default? Private. Which is default? Private. Now, in Java, it is private, it is protected, it is public. Okay. This one, it is not a private, it is not a protected, it is not a public. It is one more type, but type name not there. Without writing access modifier also, one type of access modifier, the type name not there. That is default. Suppose directly if I write default, which is default means what will you answer? Default is default. It will be happen. Okay. So without writing access modifier also, one type of access modifier, that type name not there. No name. That is default. It is not a private, it is not a protected, it is not a public. So in C++, how many access modifier? 3. Java, how many access modifier? 4. What are those? Private, protected, public. Fourth one, no name. No name. There is no name. Which is default? No name is default. No name is default. Suppose many people what they'll think is that they'll write directly default. Which is default means default is default. But default keyword also should not write. Okay. So here no name. It is no name. Without writing access modifier also, one type of access modifier in Java. That type name not there. That is no name. Okay. Now, this is default in a class, but this is default in interface. That is the reason no name is better. So you write no name is a default access modifier in a class. Public is a default access modifier in an interface. No name is a default access modifier in a package. So in package different, class different, interface different. No name is a default access modifier in a class. Public is a default access modifier in an interface. No name is a default access modifier in a package. How many access modifiers are there in Java? 4. What are those? Public, private, protected, no name. Which is default in a class? No name. Which is default in an interface? Public. Which is default in package? No name. Okay. Now, here, few people they are calling no name. Instead of no name, they are calling default also. But in interface, public is default. No? That is the reason no name better. So this specification also different books, different type they written. But I am giving a 100% clarity. Later you have to give an answer to interviewer properly. He should understand. Okay, that type. That is your responsibility. Now, no name is a default access modifier in a class. Public is a default access modifier in an interface. No name is default. Because in which suppose by directly if you write default, which is default in a class? Default is default. But which is default in interface? Public is default. That problem comes. In everything default is there, okay, like that they can call default. But in interface, public is default. If you don't write any access modifier in interface, public by default. Like that. Okay. Now, I'll explain. What is the difference? I'll explain. Now don't write, listen. No, don't write, listen. Class A. Class A. Int A equal to 10. Private int P equal to 20. Protected int C equal to 30. Public int D equal to 40. It's on class. Now, these all which type of variables? Instance variables or class variables or local variable? Instance variables. When memory allocated? Now A also, B also, C also, D also, all memory allocated whenever object is created. Life of these 4 variables same, but scope different. Scope different. Life of A, life of B, life of C, life of D same. Whenever object created, memory allocated for all. Whenever object is destroyed, memory deallocated for all. Life is same, but scope is different. Scope is based on access modifier. Now, to understand the difference between these 4, I am writing one more class. I am writing one more class. I am writing 2 more classes. Not possible otherwise. Say class D extends A. Class D extends A. It's one more class. Now one more class E. Total 5 classes I written. 5 classes. Okay. Total 5 classes I written. You observe. To understand access modifiers, pack AS concept required. To understand pack AS, access modifier required. If you learn both at a time, one also you cannot understand. That's what. Now you concentrate access modifier. Package I'll cover later. Now these three classes in one package demo. These three classes test package. Now total how many packages are there? 2 packages. Demo package, test package. Inside the demo package, 3 classes. A class, B class, C class. Inside the test package, 2 classes. D class, E class. Between A and B, inheritance relationship. Between A and D, inheritance relationship. But between A and C, between A and E, no relationship. But B and D also different because B in the same package, D in another package. C and E also not same. C in the same package, E in another package. So like that, total 5 different I written. Okay. Now you observe scope. Life is same. Life is same. Scope is different. Life is different. Same. Scope is different. A, B, C, D, 4 variables. All are instance variable. All variables memory allocated whenever object is created. All variables are vanished whenever object is destroyed. Life is same. Scope is different. To understand scope only 5 classes are written. 2 packages are written. Now, the scope of this variable is package. It is package scope. This variable within a package only you can access. That means in how many classes we can access? A class, B class, C class. Can we access in D class? No. Can we access in E class? No. Because D in another package, E in another package. Without writing access modifier also, one type of access modifier, that type name not there, that scope is package scope. Within the package you can access. Within the package, how many classes are there? 3. A class, B class, C class. That's what in A class, B class, C class you can access. In D and E you cannot access. If you try to access, error comes. Okay. Private variable scope is class scope. Within the class only. That means how many classes we can access? Only 1. That is A. That's it. In B class also you try to access, error comes. You cannot access. Okay. Protected variable scope is package scope and subclass scope. Subclass can be outside the package also. So protected variable in the package you can access. In subclass you can access. Subclass can be outside the package also. That means under package scope, how many classes? A, B, C. Subclass scope, B already is there, and D. Can we access in E? No. E is not comes under package. E is not in a demo package. You cannot access. E is not a subclass of A class. You cannot access. But how it is accessible in D? It is subclass. It is subclass. How it is accessible in C? Package scope. Okay. That is two scopes. Package scope, subclass scope. Within the entire package you can access. Outside the package also possible if it is subclass. Okay. Next. Public, not restricted. That means anywhere, no restriction. Anywhere you can access. What are A, B, C, D, E? No restriction. Anywhere you can access. If it is public, anywhere you can access. Scope not restricted. Scope is not restricted. A class, B class, C class, D class, E class. But one more thing, these all which type of variables? How many ways to access? What are those? Here A class, suppose this variable D, can I access in E class? Can I access in E class? Yes. But if you want to access, which class object you have to create? A class object you have to create. But A class, before class here, what is the access modifier? No name. Can we access A class here? No. That's what here also public required. Then only you can access here. For that one also access modifier required. Suppose this is public, it is non-public. But how to access this variable? A object required. But class is not accessible. Then how will create object? You given public for variable, but you didn't give public for class. Then not accessible. That's what this class also must be public. Then only this class accessible here. Then only can create object. With that only can call. But that is non-public, this is public. No use. You cannot create object first. But without object, can we access this one? No. You must create object. For creating object, class also should be accessible. That's what A class must be public. Okay. See, this variable, in how many classes we can access? 3. This variable, 1. This variable, 4. This variable, difference is there, no? So it is not a private, it is not a protected, it is not a public. It is also one type. That scope is different. Got it? Write this one. Two packages are there. Demo package, test package. In demo package, 3 classes are there. In test package, 2 classes are there. Between A class, B class, inheritance. Between A class, D class, inheritance. That is right clearly. Whatever I given.